So I kind of wanted to make a video about something that's a little bit of a lighter topic, I guess. Something I do have some thoughts on, I guess, because basically, if you don't know, if you don't live in New Jersey, which a lot of you probably don't, in New Jersey, I don't remember how long ago it was, but it's been a while at this point. It's been like a couple years. They passed a law that basically made it so that you couldn't use plastic bags anymore, like like a supermarket, or Walgreens, or whatever stores could not use plastic bags anymore, which mainly, I mean, it's like an environmental thing, right? So it's, the idea is that plastic bags can't really be recycled that well. And, they're often just fucking, you'll see them blowing in the wind across the fucking road or something. Like, you'll see them just everywhere. And they're just kind of this big waste that we shouldn't we shouldn't be, fucking just having everywhere. So what they did was they banned uh plastic bags, basically. Well, I mean, I guess you can have plastic bags, but it's like they're not letting stores, just give them all to customers, which I think a lot of people would be pissed at. They'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck, man? Why? Why are you taking away my freedom, This is America. If I can't have a plastic bag and I can't smoke crack, why am I living in America, you know?" But the fucking, you know, there were people that were like that, and at first I was kind of like, I don't know how much I like this, because they basically, what happened is either you would just have to carry your stuff out, which kind of feels like every time I do something like that, every time I buy something and then I carry it out, it feels like I'm fucking like shoplifting. Like, it feels like I just grabbed it off the shelf and ran out the door, even if I fucking paid for it. Like, it feels like I'm shoplifting when I'm not. But they they also, what a lot of companies started doing was they started doing paper bags, which, I mean, like grocery stores, for example, did paper bags. But, usually you wouldn't just use paper bags. You would like have the plastic bag and then put it in the paper bag, and that would like help, kind of keep it from fucking falling apart. A lot of these paper bags, they just fall apart. Like, it just, you'll fucking leave the store, you'll take like 5 steps out the door, and it rips. And it just keeps ripping. If you basically have to have paper in it to have it not fucking rip. It just doesn't fucking hold together. And so those are kind of annoying. But really, the big push through all of, the plastic bag stuff is that they started encouraging the use of reusable bags. So basically, a lot of stores just started doing bring your own bags sort of thing, where, you just have those, say like you go to what's a good example? I don't, like Walmart. You go to Walmart and they have like those little blue like fabric bags or whatever. And you can buy them at like $1 or $2 or something. You buy it, and you can, bring that back or bring it to any other store or whatever, and just use that instead of plastic bags, which, you know, a lot of people, I feel like at first, people did not like that because it's just a major inconvenience. Also, I'm full on items of Pokemon Go, so I'm going to fix that real quick. But a lot of people felt that was a big inconvenience for them, and I kind of understood it to an extent. But when I, like now that the dust has settled and like, it's been a couple years, I kind of feel like it was a good idea. Like I think it was probably a good idea to ban plastic bags, or at least, stop encouraging the use of plastic bags as much. Because I don't really see that many plastic bags anymore, like out in the world. You really don't see them that often. And, it's, it can be a little bit of a hindrance sometimes to not like have a bag or whatever. There are like, some little reusable bags, like if you have like a purse or something, right? You just shove, like one of these little plastic bags. Like I have one that's like it like looks like a bunch of grapes, and then it like it folds into itself sort of. I don't really know how to explain it. But I have like a couple of those. I have like an old one from IKEA too. And it just fucking it works. Like it's not a terrible thing. If you have whatever you're carrying, or in your car, you just leave a bunch of or some reusable bags, and that's it. Like, and then you just take them in the store with you, which some stupid people are gonna like forget them and then be like, oh, I forgot my bags, I hate these reusable bags. But like, it's a good thing because we don't have to keep making shitloads of bags. And like, to be fair, I feel like I buy bags every now and then because I forget and stuff. But like, I think it's overall a good thing because we're just reducing fucking waste. It's like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, it would basically be like if we made enough backpacks for like, everybody on planet Earth like 10 times. And it's like, but why did we need to make that many backpacks? Like there was no need to make that many backpacks. It's just a bunch of fucking waste. It's either, going to sit in somebody's house just gathering dust, or it's just going to fucking, be out in the world just fucking, as waste again, right? Like there's no need for a shitload of plastic bags. Whereas when you, what's it called? When you, have like reusable bags, you can just reuse them as the name implies. And that way, you don't have to keep using 10 million fucking bags every year or whatever. You can just, use the same 5, 6, 7 that you have. And so I think that is genuinely a fucking amazing thing. I think it's good that we are reducing waste. And I hope other states will, eventually catch on to it too. But then again, I mean, New Jersey is a pretty blue state, and, you're going to have, I guess, more environmental stuff going on here than, in fucking Montana or some shit. So I would like to see more stuff like this. Like, I think it's a good thing. There's the whole paper straw thing too, which the paper straw thing I think is different because it directly affects the fact that you're just fucking drinking out of this shitty paper straw that just does not hold well. It just doesn't work well compared to a plastic straw. But like, I think the thing I always hate about when people start arguing about that shit is they don't just say what they mean. Like it's like if you're a racist, and instead of saying like, I hate this certain group of people, you go out of your way to find some reason to hate them to justify your excuse of, or to justify your hatred of them, basically. And so, like, there are people where they saw the paper straws. They're like, I hate these paper straws. They're stupid. There's literally no reason for them. And that's when it's like, if there was no reason for them, why are they making them? Which, again, I think, I don't know this off the top of my head, but I think New Jersey did ban plastic straws. I think, at least, like, kind of ban plastic straws, something like that. But, like, the thing is that you just started having people where they literally thought there was no reason why they're using plastic straws, and it's pouring again. There's no reason why that they should be using paper straws when it's like, the paper straws are way easier to dispose of, right? Which, like, again, it's an environmental thing. So it's like, yes, it is a little bit of an inconvenience for you, but, like, it is good for the environment. I mean, just, like, in general, it's good. Like, you're just producing less waste that can never be used again, And for example, like, I remember, people would bitch about, McDonald's, they have paper straws, but then they have plastic cups. Why would they do that? And it's like, because you can throw away the paper straw, and it's not a massive just waste, and you can recycle the cup. But yeah, I just, it's annoying when people have a close-minded view and they don't ever stop to think about why this is a thing. It's like, I get that paper straws suck. I do. Like, I genuinely do believe that to be true. They do not feel that great to use. I think maybe it's a little overblown by certain people, but it feels way better to use a plastic straw than a paper straw, for sure. But the thing is that, like, it's not something that you need to fucking make excuses for to be justified in. Like, you can have your opinion, like, I don't like drinking from paper straws because, like, it gets annoying to drink out of them, and, sometimes they fall apart and it sucks. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I get that. But my problem is when you get people, like, there's some fucking study or whatever where it was like, paper straws contain all these chemicals and, preservatives and whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's bad. Did you read the rest of the study that said that plastic straws contain just as much fucking chemicals and shit? And that really, if you want the only good way to drink stuff and not, be fucking, not be fucked over is if you drink from a metal straw. Who would have guessed that, plastic would contain a lot of the same garbage that the paper straws do? Like, yeah. That's the problem. Like, people will cherry pick something, for example, that paper straws have chemicals and stuff in them that are not good for you. And they'll just run with that without fucking even bothering to do any sort of research. Like, you could not be bothered to read the rest, not even, the rest of the study. Like, it's not like they read the study. They read a fucking paraphrasing of a headline that told them what to think and didn't even bother to look at a fucking article of it, let alone the fucking study. That shit annoys me. Because if you want to say things like, I think it's inconvenient that we don't have plastic bags. Like, I think it's annoying because sometimes I just go into, a store and I want to get one thing or I want to get a couple things And like it's annoying because then I have to either buy a reusable bag if I didn't bring one in, or I have to fucking just carry it all out. It I get that. But don't, fucking find some flimsy reason to justify it and then fucking act like that is, a valid thing. Cause that pisses me off so much. I guess this kind of just evolved into a whole like paper straw and like, fucking internet brain rot, fucking idiotic garbage thing. I guess if there's a takeaway to have from this video, it's that like I would just say try to be a little more open-minded of people. Like there are dumb people. There are dumb people. Like I mentioned in my last video, there are people who are fucking unbelievably stupid. And they will make stupid ideas, or they'll fucking do stupid things, right? But I you know I will be, admittedly, I will be a little judgmental about certain people, right? Sometimes, like the guy that wanted me to cut something up into a bunch of fucking little pieces. That, I'm gonna be a little judgmental about that. Partially because, like, man, do you not just have a knife to go do it yourself? Why? Like, it's crazy. Okay, but that whole thing aside, right? I'm gonna be judgmental about that, but I will at least try to see it from his perspective, even if I think like man, just get a fucking knife. Come on, man. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But when it comes to this stuff, I think about it and it's like, when people just go, oh, they have a paper straw and a plastic cup. It's so stupid. It's just more waste. But it's like, just think about it, charitably for a second. Don't just assume everything is out to get you, or everything is evil, or everything is stupid. Just think just think for yourself. Like, just think about it and just be like, why would they do this? What reasons could they have for doing this? Because, is it a cost cutting measure? Is that why they're doing it? Or maybe it's because maybe it's because they just, have an actual reason for it, which is, so that they can reduce waste overall. Because if they do that, then they can recycle the cup, and the cup can actually be recycled, and then the fucking, straw can be gotten rid of, and it's not as much waste or something like that. I don't know if that's fully the reason why, by the way, but that's like something that I just rationalized in my brain because, I can think for myself, right? And like maybe that's wrong, and I'd be happy to be proven wrong if it is wrong, but like I'm not going to be delusional and just act like there is zero reason why they did this. There probably is a reason, whether it be for money or, just because it's a better thing to do, right? And it, like, even if maybe they're doing it because they want to be seen as a good company rather than, we want to do the right thing. At least they're doing the right thing, But anyways, I guess that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, I would say the main things I just wanted to get across are, number one, I think reusable things are good, and especially things like reusable bags. That is a good thing. But also, try to think for yourself when you can, instead of, letting people tell you what to think, or just fucking not giving any sort of charitability. I know it's not the easiest thing to play devil's advocate sometimes, but you have to be willing to try sometimes. So I think that's pretty much the main things I just wanted to say. And I guess I guess if you're passionate about this sort of thing, about, you know, reducing waste and all that, I mean, there are probably initiatives or representatives or, you know, whatever people that you can talk to that, you know, probably won't do much, but who knows? I mean, maybe it'll actually, you know, be the cause for change, I guess. But yeah, uh, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I'm just still kind of sitting here in the rain. I recorded the last video and this one back to back, so I don't really know what to do now. Yeah, I guess that's it.